You said in one of your videos that we should teach our children that it is okay to fail. But this will not prepare them for the world we live in. So why do you think failure is so important? Actually, on the contrary, this will prepare your kids for the world we live in. When we teach our kids that it is not okay to fail, when we attach shame to failing, when we call someone who failed a loser, or when we call someone who did not succeed a failure, then our kids would be terrified of failing. And the majority of people do not become successful or do not make money in case they fail afterwards. See, it's difficult to fail if you're not successful. It's difficult to fail at something that you've never done. So a lot of us are so terrified of failure and this feeling that it will bring afterwards, this shame it will bring, that we just sit at home on the couch watching television instead of getting up and doing what we really like to do, or trying out what we dream about. Because if it doesn't work, someone will point the finger. Or someone will say, "See, you should not have done this." Or, "Why did you do this for?" And in order to avoid these things, we don't succeed. And we just remain plain, boring people. People are not meant, people were not born plain and boring. They choose it for security, for safety. There is safety in being, in America they call it white bread, meaning there's nothing in it. It's safe. So these people have no experiences. They just live safely until they die. And this way, no one has ever ridiculed them. No one has ever called them a loser. No one has ever called them a failure. So this is why I say, teach your children that it is okay to fail. That failure is an option. We first heard this from a movie, "Failure is not an option." And since then, many politicians picked it up, and whenever they speak to the sheep, they mention this. And you see the sheep applauding. So, yes, teach your children, and when they do fail, let's go to when they fail. When they do fail, don't say, "Oh, you failed." Say, "Okay, next time we'll do it differently." Or, next time we'll do it differently to see if it works that way, or if it works better that way. There's so many things you can use, so many words you can use instead of the word failure. There is no such thing as failure. None whatsoever. Now, on the other end of this, if you have failed at something, or if something did not succeed, do not get stuck there. Do not dwell on it. Do not mention it every 10 minutes, because you are constantly going to the past and you are staying in that energy. So move on and use that failure or not success. Use the experience from that so you can do it differently now or next time. So yes, I am saying it's okay to fail, but this does not mean it's okay to dwell on it, to keep talking about it again and again and again, because it makes you feel like a victim. And you like being a victim. Do not do this. Yes, I did it once, it didn't succeed, so now I'm trying again. Or I did it 10 times, it didn't succeed, so now I'm trying again. Now, again on the other end of the stick, there are some people that say phrases like, I read this somewhere, I forgot where I read it, that Thomas Edison tried 999 times, and then on the 1000th try, he invented the light bulb. That's not true. Not true at all. I don't even think he tried 10 times. But, again, I read this somewhere. In the lab, you do a lot of experiments. This doesn't mean they are failures. He simply experimented many times with many things. And one of his inventions was the light bulb. So don't go to that extreme either. Just don't go to extremes. That's all. What else about why failure is so important? You know what? From a different perspective, from a metaphysical perspective, failure also makes you wiser. I would not have been as comfortable as I am with myself these days had I not failed in so many things. I also succeeded in many things, but looking back, it's the things I did not succeed in that gave me most of the comfort I have today. The comfort with myself, the comfort that, what could happen? I've survived worse. That kind of comfort. This gives you courage to go into anything. Because you think, well, if I've survived that and the other, this will be easy. So from that point of view, I also say failure is okay. It's actually important for your soul growth and for your personality growth. A person that has failed has more substance. Even their voice is different. You listen to them, and even though you know nothing about them, you say to yourself, he or she knows what they are talking about. You can just feel it, it's in the voice. You know that this person has failed and is now talking from the heart, so to speak, instead of just having read a book and regurgitating it. I think that's the word. Regurgitating it, yes. So yes, again, tell your kids, it's okay. It's okay. Life is an experience. Keep trying. I will leave it at this.